100%. On, I think literally, I like what you just said. It's like if you're trying to be ignorant of technology, you're going to be the one to face the bad side of technology because the rest of the world is not going to say because you're ignorant, we're not going to use it. Everybody else is going to use it. Move forward, and I think this is what I think. I think a country's the way well-being too is dependent on the other country's productivity. So if productively you guys are lacking behind and the other countries are moving forward and they're doing a lot of good things, you're going to most likely end up being the one to purchase. If you have two countries, one country does not adopt technology, the other country adopt technology, their productivity is going to increase because technology actually increase productivity of a country in general. So if these countries' productivity increase, is going to get to a point where that their productivity in country that adopt technology exceed massively that of those that didn't adopt technology. So it's going and when it comes to the needs, the country that doesn't have technology is going to end up having to trade and buy things and buy produce and buy their need of the country that adopt technology. So they're going to keep on crashing their own local economy. So if you have to adopt technology if you really want your economy as a whole to stay afloat. And the other thing you said too is I think what we not we, I think there's nothing to be scared for me. And there's not technology is not what I think we're scared of. I think we're scared of some human nature, not these are the other things. Technology can be dangerous, like electricity, putting your hand there, and then but the people designing these technologies are putting this into consideration before they launch it out there in the marketplace. Before you may make a wire, you have to understand. As scientists, we have to understand everything, the properties of electricity, the properties of medium that carries electricity, and medium that does not conduct electricity, like rubbers. We have to understand how rubber work, insulators work, and based on this understanding, we design the copper wire plus the coat around it, the insulator around the copper wire, so that it's safe. So there have to be safety measures put in place when you're engineering these things. Scientists are not stupid. They think about all of these things before they put it out there to make sure that things are safe. But we can't guarantee 100% safety because people can still do things. But our aim as scientists and engineers is to ensure that it does what it need to do and it is safe. But what I think put more threat is how humans use this technology. It is not technology that is going on to bomb people. It is people that is using technology to bomb people. So
That's so true.
so I'm not going to come here and start to blame technology for some of the bad things that's going on in the world at all. No, I'm going to say, okay, let's go back as human beings and say, okay, what can we, from a social perspective, like what is wrong with us? Like what is it that we're failing to identify and then tackle that has caused some of the evil things and atrocities that's going on around the world. And for me, this is a personal opinion. This is a very, 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 very personal opinion. I was atheist for a long time. I was an atheist for a long time. And I'm coming to a self conclusion that we are having a society when it comes to especially the Western world that is not really built on spirituality. And any system that the foundation is not actually on spirituality is a system that's most likely going to end up creating a lot of narcissists and a lot of robots in human being that just do anything rather than going by some certain type of moral standard. So I think you know some of the thing for me when it comes to technology is actually brings it actually go tells at some point in technology for me it actually tells you to go back to spirituality
You're right.
for me because
That
I've researched I've worked. I'm nobody, don't get it wrong, but I see myself as someone that my life situation have put me in this my life and things some of the events that happened in my life put me in a position where I spend morning to night every single day Morning to night, even sometimes 4 times, sleep 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day, also because I love what I do, and researching, working as a scientist, researching on technology, building, researching, and working on not just any form of technology like making an app, but actually working on really cutting edge stuff in, for example, quantum information science. And the more I do this, and the more I even question what the cause of my actions are, because at some point in technology, I'm going to be honest with you, building technology and having access to your laptop gives you this sort of like, I'm sure tech people know, like some of these really top entrepreneurs know this. God feeling. I'm going like think about it this way, so that you understand how technology is like. You have a laptop in front of you. You can write this code, and the code that you can write, can do anything. And the code that you're writing, based on what you allow, is basically going to program the other human being using that laptop. You know this. You're very, very aware that you're not only programming a machine, you're also programming a set of people. It's basically a basic law of psychology here, in the sense that if I only allow you a screen that I have two options, A or B, you will only be able to pick between A and B. That is becomes your universe. I mean, a universe of actions or items that you can experience. And based on this universe of actions and options that you can experience, it just shapes your mind as well. I'm sure you don't even need to go look at social media. Look at the way people are behaving. With all due respect to these people too. Look at where the society is when it comes to social media. It has everything to do with the algorithms that you have on the back end, in Facebook, based on what an algorithm promotes, the society, human adjust their behavior to win that algorithm. So if that algorithm, for example, TikTok, promotes this certain type of behavior, humans start to behave, their psychology to adjust in such a way that it wins on this hierarchy, and the algorithm creates that hierarchy. Um, So, so as that is as a user, but as a programmer or as an engineer, make software, or data science, with data science, AI, this sort of thing, you see these things. Not everybody. I don't know. I don't think it's everybody. Some people are still with the program, but if you're actually really thinking that in depth of what you're doing, and I remember when I first started actually writing software programs properly, and how I felt at the beginning, it felt like I don't see programming as just a job. No, I see I'm a creative. I'm a creative. I see it as an opportunity for me to come and write a story. So when I'm writing programming, I'm basically writing a language. Basically writing a novel in a particular language that the computer understands, and that the computer is meant to bring that novel to life. Okay, so it's like writing a book, but the difference between a book that you've programmed, and an actual book is that book can come to life. The program can actually come to life, that people can interact with it, and it can respond to people. Now,
All right. Yeah. Go,
you
go,
know,
go.
now if when I came on programming and I started writing things, what I was seeing in the machine is like the whole world is entire. A large majority of the world have access to phone. So literally, what you're writing is basically connected to people with their phone, and their phone is connected to their brain. That's why I said that we are all, a lot of people, we don't know it yet. We are basically working cyborgs. Um, and tech people, if you're thinking, you will see this 100%. So now, my field of thought. Okay, okay, yeah. Now, the point I was trying to get to here is that and the more you study this, the more you go into this, the more, if you're not careful, if you're not careful, there's it. When you see the kind of power that comes with building tech, getting adoption, and being able to create option and the universe, and therefore shape people's psychology. If it's not coming from a good place in your heart, that is going to transform into every part of your work. I'm not sure if you understand what I mean here.
I'm getting
Is
it. Yeah, yeah.
If it's not coming from a good source, from a good core, then the way you had the kind of advantages that you have, being able to program and being able to do this and understand what is going on, is going to come out in there.